What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another DC Multiverse custom. Today we're going to be taking a look at making an all-black suit, Alex Ross inspired Batman. So I started off with just the black and gray Nightfall Batman. Luckily on Big Bad Toy Store they had this guy in stock for retail, so I was really excited about that. I broke him down as far as I could. I even removed the logo just so I could work on dyeing the main body. To dye the action figure, I get some water boiling in a pot, and then I turn that down to low and I drop in the figure and I drop in the dye. And then I usually wait about an hour, and for the last 10 minutes of the dye, I'll put it back to high. But you can see it turned out pretty well for this guy. Sometimes it's hit or miss, but this one worked out really well. It kind of had like a brownish reddish undertone. I fixed that later, but the knee joints and the elbow joints are where I was really going after. I don't want paint to chip on those, and I don't want to sand them down. But after I dyed him, I let him dry overnight and I hit him with this clear coat. Make sure you wash this guy really well afterwards too, but that clear coat really helped remove some of that brownish undertone. So it really looked pretty good at this point, and I think I could have just put him back together now. I decided to hit him with a couple of coats of this Air Black from Vallejo just to make sure that this doesn't ever fade. That can be a problem with when you dye these figures, is that they'll fade over time, especially in the sun, so I want to hit him with the coat. I clear coated him again, I got the body back together. At this point, he was pretty much ready to be put back together, but I wanted to make some changes while I had him apart. The Nightfall Batman body mold is, in my opinion, the best DC Multiverse base body. The only issue I have with it is there's too much material where the shoulders peg in, so you can't really utilize this butterfly joint, I guess it would be, right here. There's too much material there, so I like to take my Dremel and just kind of remove some of that material so I can actually get his arms to go across his body. You can see there, it looks kind of nasty right now, but I'll repaint that to black later. But there's the difference between the two sides. Really, when you do this, if you just take off a little bit, it's not even noticeable, but this actually frees up a lot of movement there and you can get some good poses from him. So here he is after I pop the arms back in. It looks a little weird right now, I know, but once you get that cape on there, it's hardly even noticeable. And you can see this is the base Nightfall body. This has no modifications done to it. And his arms only get like shoulder width apart, or his hands I should say. But with these modifications, I can get mine a lot closer here. His hands can actually touch, and if you take off a little bit more material, you can actually make his hands kind of lay on top of one another. So here he is once the modifications are all done. I think this is worth it, especially if you're repainting the body anyways, and it adds a lot of articulation there. So for the cape, I bought this a long time ago and it's just been in a box. So it's a cheaper one, it doesn't have a wire, and I had to cut the hole out a little bit bigger to fit around the neck, but I think it'll work out for this one. I didn't want to spend $30 on a new cape. But I just filled in where that old cape was attached to with some epoxy sculpt, and that way I have something really to glue to. So after all that, I finally get to start painting the head sculpt. I primed everything, of course, and these head sculpts are from Hello My Name 1S Brian over on Instagram. I'll link his Instagram in the description. I base coated everything in this basic skin tone from Vallejo. I usually like to use that as a base tone just to kind of get a feel of where I'm gonna start putting some of that wash. I've been trying to add some washes to his face to try to bring out some color. So I got some red and some blue and some yellow, just really watered down and put it all over the face where I think he would have kind of those colors naturally on your skin. But then I did one or two light coats of this flesh tone over that, and it helped to kind of darken his skin a little bit, and also it kept those reds and blues and everything kind of peeking through, so it wasn't too in your face. After that, I forgot to film most of my other work on the face, but I just painted the lips that same flesh tone with a little bit of red mixed in, and I also went around the eyes with some watered down red just to kind of make them look a little bit more realistic. And then of course I painted in the eyes white, and then I came back and punched in that blue with for the pupils and the black dots. I've been working on painting my own eyes rather than using water slides, and so this is kind of my first real attempt at doing that, and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm kind of still working on my formula for painting faces, but I'd like to make a video in the future about that. So if you want to see something like that, let me know in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed for that. But here he is all done up. You can see I glued that cape down. It's pretty simple. I just kind of followed where I'd sculpted just so I could meet that line. I also put this gloss varnish over the eyes. I don't know if it did much. I had to switch to a new gloss because my old one ran out. But I mean, I don't think it hurt it. It made it maybe look a little bit more realistic. I have a video for that Hush suit right there, but as soon as I finished that, they announced the Dick Grayson Batman, so I don't know if I'll put that out or not, but let me know if you want to see something like that. Here's the head swapped onto that body though, and I kind of like this more. I think this is how it's going to live on my display actually. But thanks for watching the whole video. This was a quicker one. I just wanted to get this out real quick to mix in some DC Multiverse into my customs. I primarily focus on Star Wars, but I have a soft spot for Batman and Spider-Man, so if you want to see more of stuff like that, just let me know down in the comments, or if you're just here to see Star Wars customs, let me know that too. I know the YouTube algorithm doesn't like me mixing it up probably, but my collection's a huge variety, so I like to have a variety of customs out there. But hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.